This short story, which was written by one of the most famous Korean novelists, Sik Lee, is about the life of one traveling vendor in early 20th century. This story is so famous that it appears in school Korean textbook.
When the buckwheat blooms, summer is not a good time for vendors in the open market because people don't like shopping in the hot weather. But there was actually a group of lumberjacks hanging around, but he didn't think that he needed to stay any longer, considering they were likely to be only interested in a bottle of oil for a lamp or a loaf of meat. As a crowd of flies and gnats became irritating, K-zzan, who was lefty and had an acne, asked K-zzan, who was selling the same items, textiles as him, "Hey, let's call it a day, man." "Good, that's a good idea. I don't even remember the last time when I did a good job here in Bongpyeong Market. Hopefully, I could make money at the Daewoo Market tomorrow," K-zzan said. "I think we're gonna have to walk all night tonight to get there. I hope there's moon in the sky tonight," K-zzan went on saying. Watching K-zzan counting his money that he made, K-zzan stroked his tent and packed wares on a mat to leave. There were 2 bags of cottons, silks, and satins waiting for him to carry. Also, there was still some other textiles lying on the mat. Other vendors were preparing to leave, too. Tinkers and some other vendors who were selling yet Korean hard taffy or fish or gingers already left. There'll be another open market in the place, Jinbu and Daewoo. They got to walk about 24 kilometers through the night to reach either Jinbu or Daewoo. The market became messy as it approached the end of the day. There was always fighting going on with the shrill voices of girls and the yelling of drunk guys in the bars. The evening in the market always started with fighting. "Hey, Sang-jwan, I know you just pretend not to have interest in Chung Jusup, the female bar owner," K-zzan said, smiling after hearing the girl's fighting voice. "Man, she's the type of girl I like, but it's so competitive. She's so popular with guys," Sang-jwan said. "Oh, that's partly true and partly wrong. You know that young guy, Dong-hee? I think he's sweet-talking her," K-zzan said. "Shit, is that true? Maybe the new guy is sexually attracted to her. I thought the young guy was a square apple," K-zzan said. "I don't know what happened to them. Why don't we go and check that out? I'm gonna buy you a drink at the bar," K-zzan said. K-zzan didn't actually want to go, but he just followed him. He was not lucky as far as girls were concerned. There wasn't any girl who liked him so far, plus, he hated his acne. But when he thought of Chung Jusup, his face turned red, and his heart pounded. K-zzan became a little bit upset when he found the young guy, Dong-hee, in the bar. After a while, K-zzan saw Dong-hee, who was drunk, talking to Chung Jusup. He thought, what a dumbass. What kind of asshole would get drunk this early of the day? As an itinerant vendor, this dumbass is just insulting all of us. Then K-zzan went to Dong-hee and started to cuss at him. When Dong-hee stared at him, he was so pissed off that he slapped him across his face. Dong-hee exploded up from his seat in anger. But K-zzan didn't care. "I don't know who you are, but you must be the son of your parents, right? Did you ever think how your parents would think of you if they saw you now? A good vendor's never distracted by girls like you. Get shit out of my face now." Dong-hee gave up facing him and went away. K-zzan had a strange feeling when he saw Dong-hee going away. He didn't know why, but he felt kind of sorry for Dong-hee. K-zzan was not close to Dong, Dong-yi, who was just one of his acquaintances. So he thought he was a little bit too hard on Dong-yi. It was unfair for Dong-yi to be slapped just because he was young like the son of Hyo-sang-won, if he had. They were just the same customers to Chung Ju-sup. Chung Ju-sup didn't hide her feeling about what happened. When she poured shot glasses, alcohol, for the two old guys, she didn't like what Hyo-sang-won did. Cho Sin-del tried to save the situation. Do you have a crush on him? That's not good. He's too young for you, Cho Sin-del said to Chung Ju-sup. After all these happened, Hyo-sang-won wanted to get drunk. So he drank a lot. Then he started to think of Dong-yi rather than the girl. He became worried about what would happen to him after he left. He was blaming himself for what he did to Dong-yi when he suddenly hurried back to him. Your donkey is going wild and trying to gnaw through his rope, Dong, he said. The gnats must be irritating him? Hyo-sang-won replied. Hyo-sang-won was grateful for Dong-yi's concern. When he ran to his donkey with Dong-yi, tears welled in his eyes. Your donkey's so tough that I couldn't do anything, Dong-yi said. I'm not gonna forgive anyone that bullies my donkey, Hyo-sang-won said. His donkey was more than just a donkey for Hyo-sang-won. He spent half of his life with his donkey. For the last 20 years, they went through so many nights together traveling from market to market. And this way he grew old along with his donkey. The unmanageable hair on the back of the donkey's neck was getting thinner, just like that of Hyo-sang-won. And the donkey also had sleep in his eyes, as his owner had. His short tail that looked like a worn-out broom couldn't fan away flies, because it didn't even reach his legs. He's also been wearing several new horseshoes, because his hoofs were worn out. But there was bleeding in the horseshoes. The donkey could tell by smell that his owner was coming. Then the donkey began to cry wildly, welcoming Hyo-sang-won. As he patted the neck of his donkey like he did kids, the donkey whickered, flaring his nostrils. The donkey's snot splattered. Hyo-sang-won was worried about his donkey because a group of kids made fun of his donkey a lot. The kids made Hyo-sang-won so freaked out that his sweaty body shivered from the anger. The bridle was taken off, and the saddle dropped to the ground.